One, promoted listings are only going to show up once in a search. You know what that's about? Have you ever seen a promoted? Do you do promoted listings?
I do.
Okay. So what happens sometimes on the same page, it'll have your listing and then your promoted listing.
Oh, right.
Now it's only going to have one, which I'm not sure how that's a win for us.
It might not be a win for us in the short term, but even as a customer, like I could see how it gets confusing when you see something at the top and you're like, oh, okay, maybe not that item. And you scroll down and you see it again. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I don't know. I'm happy that it gets double exposure now. Let me read what eBay says.
As a seller.
Let me read what eBay says and maybe it'll make more sense. They said, in our ongoing effort to optimize the visibility of promoted listing placements, we're shifting to a mix of promoted and non-promoted listings at the top of search results. Now a mixture of promoted and non-promoted listings will be eligible to appear in the top search rankings. This is designed to balance visibility for both promoted and organic non-promoted listings, depending on the relevance to a buyer's search and quality of a seller's listing.
But that doesn't say what you just said about there only being on the page once. That seems to be addressing something different.
No, it's saying that there's here, the line before it says removal of duplicated promoted and non-promoted listings in search.
Okay, so that's good, but that sounds like a separate issue of them using that promoted listing spots for items that aren't promoted. That sounds like a totally different situation.
True, but what I'm seeing is that maybe it's going to allow for more people's promoted listings to show up, where you would have that one, you'd have those two, right? So you're taking the space, right? So now you're removing one, so that allows other people's promoted listings to show up. I don't know.
I don't know if I understood it that way. I kind of understood it as instead of just having it, when somebody search, they might not show a promoted listing. They might just do like organic searches, or like the next time, depending on if it's closer, there might be two promoted listings or just one instead of two, right? So it kind of seems like they're trying to almost reduce the impact of promoted listings and give a little bit more power or leeway to non-promoted.
Ooh, I don't see that.
That's what it said. I mean, if you read it.
No, I know. I just don't see that because promoted listings was one of their major money makers and their shareholders were very happy about it.
But here's the thing. What was the other type of listing promotion that they're talking about?
Oh, don't tell me.
Right. So this would,
but in case our listeners have no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about pay-per-click.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, same thing. It's same
I don't
thing.
even know if it's click. I think it's every time it shows.
No, it's pay-per-click.
Is it click?
They said click.
Okay.
Pay-per-view would be worse.
Okay. Yeah. So pay for click. So what I think they're doing is, I don't know what the number is, but just to give an example.
I think you're onto something.
So instead of having 3 promoted listings at the top, they're going to say, hey, look, in order to kind of make things a little even, we're only going to do 2 promoted listings at the top and put some organic ones. Because then once people get used to 2 promoted listings at the top, it's easy to say 2 promoted listings and a pay-per-click listing, right? Like it just changes the dynamics. But in
eBay,
the short term,
please do not go down that road. If anybody from eBay is listening and we have any kind of clout, which we don't, I'm not sure sellers would be, well, I don't know. The sellers that are willing to do the pay-per-click, I am not a fan of pay-per-click.
No, I think what it's going to do is eventually, if it works, it's going to, if you're one of the 10% that's doing it, you're going to reap tons of benefits.
Agreed.
And then everybody's going to say, hey, I have to do that to be competitive. And now the overall cost of listing on eBay goes up. That's all that's going to happen.
And the only way to combat that is to source items that aren't as saturated.
Yeah.
I mean, Craigslist Hunter said, like, he never does promoted listings and he gets consistent sales. Why? Because he has items that people want that are unique.
Yep. Well, and it kind of sounds like they already are putting items in the promoted listing spots that might not be that relevant to customers.
Wow. You know, Mike, I appreciate you being on this podcast.
Thank you.
I did not even think of that. I really believe, and let us know in the comments below, do you think Mike is onto something? Because I really do think he's onto something.